when we saw the Occupy Bank of Ghana, demonstration going through twists and turns, ending with a refusal of the demonstrators to hand over the petition because they believed it was the wrong person who was coming to receive it. Listen, let's talk about that and other things with our special guest this morning, who happens to be the Honourable Member of Parliament for North Tongu and Ranking Member of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Mr. Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Mr. Ablakwa, thank you for your time and good morning.
Good morning, Kojo. Thank you for having me.
So, you were out in the sun yesterday. But
absolutely.
But decided not to hand over the petition.
Yes, but first of all, let me thank Ghanaians. The response was massive. You saw the crowd. It was a really mammoth attendance. And the protesters were very well behaved. You recall that earlier there were attempts by the police to stop us. They went to court saying that this demonstration could turn violent. Ridiculously, they even said that it could lead to a coup if you read the court documents they filed, and that we should be made to stay far away from the Bank of Ghana. I am glad that we demonstrated, the masses, the good people of this country demonstrated yesterday that if there are any group of people, the police or anybody should be worried about, it is those who are breaking our laws, those who are destroying the economy, those in leadership who are running down the country, not the masses who want to speak up, who want to rise up, who want to protest and insist that the right thing is done. So I think that was a very, very strong message that we send, that we are law-abiding, we are peaceful citizens, and we are not the bad guys. Having commended Ghanaians, let me now come to the petition. We had made clear right from the outset that our target is the governor and his deputies. We had sent notice. We expected that the climax of our Occupy BOG demonstration will be the presentation of a petition to either the governor or his deputies. The aim is to make sure that the governor receives the petition, sees the crowd, sees how angry we are at how he has run down the central bank. As we speak, the central bank is technically insolvent, it's bankrupt. He's depleted the reserves. He's made losses of 60.8 billion, which has never happened. And then, even more troubling, he has printed currencies illegally to the tune of 77 billion in flagrant violation of Section 30 of his own act. He printed 77 billion without parliamentary approval, an illegal conduct. So we insist that he must resign. He and his deputies must leave the central bank. So the least he could do was to show up and receive the petition. But he continued with his disdain, his disregard for the Ghanaian people. Just as he's flouting our laws with impunity, he decided that he won't show up. And he sent his head of security to receive the petition, which we flatly refused to hand over to the head of security. We told them in very clear terms that we will come back. We insist that it is the governor we want to see. He is the one we want to hand over this petition to. And he is the one we want out of that office. So we are not handing over any petition to a head of security. This is not a demonstration.
If I may, Mr. Okudzeto Ablakwa, I mean, and by the way, if you just joined us, we're talking to Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Honourable MP for North Tongu, Ranking Member of Foreign Affairs Committee, about yesterday's Occupy BOG demonstration and their refusal to hand over the petition to the officer who was sent to receive it, the head of security. Mr. Okudzeto Ablakwa, if I may, is this not perhaps asking for more than usual? I recall when Occupy Flagstaff House happened, the petition was brought in to Flagstaff House and was received by Valerie Sawyer, who I'm pretty sure was not the president at the time, even though the petition was for the president. Is that not the norm? I can't even remember any time in recent history when the actual target of a demonstration has come to receive the petition. Can you?
So, Kojo, let's be clear. Occupy Flagstaff House, when we were in power, the Honorable Valerie Sawyer, at the time, was a deputy chief of staff. That's a senior position, a senior advisor to the president. She was supported, I recall, in receiving the petition by the Honorable Dr. Omane Boama, a cabinet minister, minister for communications. That is the level of respect we accorded to the Occupy Flagstaff House demonstrators. You have a governor, you have two deputies, you have senior directors. None of them were sent to receive this petition. The message to us is not lost on us. It's very clear. Let's send a head of security. Let's treat this whole demonstration with contempt. But what they forget is that in the process, they have only exposed their own disdain and disrespect for the Ghanaian people. You are public servants. The people employ you. The people pay you. Everything you look, all the monies they've wasted on either gold watches, on the so-called vehicle maintenance, and all of those ridiculous things in the 2022 annual statement, which has brought us to this level of bankruptcy and huge losses, are monies belonging to the Ghanaian people, the people's taxes. The least you can do after breaking our laws, violating Section 30 of your act, is to be a bit remorseful, contrite, and show the Ghanaian people some respect. So if they had sent at least the deputy governors or some senior staff, we will have considered the presentation of the petition. But to send your head of security...
Well, to be fair, Wing Commander Asare Boateng is actually a head of department. He reports directly to the governor. That is a senior person. You might liken his level in the organization to that of a deputy chief of staff. Actually, perhaps you might consider him to be a bit higher than a deputy chief of staff at Flagstaff House.
Kojo, what are you really telling us this morning? That a department head at Bank of Ghana is what, higher than a chief of staff or deputy chief of staff at the president?
What I'm saying is he reports directly to the governor.
Are you even likening the governor to the presidency?
Oh, not at all. No, let's not get mistaken. Yeah. I'm not saying that the governor is the same as the president. I'm saying that in an institution like Flagstaff House, the deputy chief of staff reports to the chief of staff, who reports to the president. In an organization like the Bank of Ghana, the head of security reports directly to the governor. So would you not consider him a senior?
And the deputy governors do what?
Yeah, the deputy governors also report to the governor.
Look, Kojo, let's not countenance contemptuous conduct, arrogant public officers who think they can take us for a ride. This is a governor who, after running down, are you beginning to take lightly the harm this governor has caused? All of this printing has led to massive inflation, which has eroded people's incomes, people's purchasing power. He has destroyed livelihoods. This governor has destroyed the jobs of more than 50,000 people, collapsed people's banks, people's financial institutions. This governor, because of his conduct, people are taking haircuts today. You have pensioner bondholders, senior citizens, who have to picket before they can have access to their own life savings. These are people who have destroyed the Ghanaian economy. And they are adding arrogance to it. You can't come and meet members of parliament, the honorable minority leader, who you come to for approval in the house, and who you are supposed to have sought approval from in all the illegal printing that you did. And we are being told that it is a norm because we don't meet the president and we may meet the deputy chief of staff. We are beginning to liken a governor who engages in illegal conduct with the president of a republic. Please, let's not tolerate. It is this kind of pampering, this kind of goading on that continues to see the illegalities that we are seeing. Ghana has now become a banana republic where people are looting at will, breaking our laws, and they think that they should be pampered on top of that.
Let's talk about the actual protest. And I don't know if you've seen the Daily Guide this morning. There's a claim on the front page: Kayaye bribed to join NDC demo. They are saying that some demonstrators were caught on camera bribing some female head porters known as Kayaye in the Greater Accra Region Central Business District to participate in the protest march. I don't know if you're aware of this story. How do you respond to it?
Daily Guide, what do you expect? This has been a massive, mammoth demonstration. If government thought that they could underestimate the anger of Ghanaians, how the good people of this country can no longer take it. A few days ago, you saw Occupy Julobi. The Ghanaian people have just had it. This is no more a democracy. It's become a plutocracy. You have been following the scandals we have been putting out virtually on a daily basis. You apart from the Bank of Ghana, you've seen what happened at the National Cathedral project site, which has become the world's most expensive pit. You've seen the Frontiers Agreement, which was a total giveaway, a heist. You've seen the airport lands, which are being handed out to cronies under the guise of Heaven Builders Limited. So we are talking about a plutocracy, not a democracy. And the attempt by some of these pro-government media to distract would not work. I didn't see anybody giving out money to anybody. Let us not insult the intelligence of Ghanaians. If they did not want to participate in the demonstration, they would not have showed up. To the extent that they show up in their numbers, let us not say that they came because somebody induced them. I mean, it is totally wrong. We had said from the outset that this demonstration, we call on all Ghanaians, all sections of society. I saw civil society organizations. I saw other political party leaders. I saw PNC chairman, CPP, PPP, and other political parties. I have seen leaders of associations, transport unions, and many others, including the Kayaye. Why are they picking on only the Kayaye and wondering why they should be participating in a demonstration that if they have, they should have been induced? You see, they should continue to live in that bubble, continue to show that arrogance of power, exactly what Alan Chamantin was talking about a few days ago when he left their ranks and said he could not continue to associate with the unscrupulous apparatchiks, as he put it, who have hijacked the MPP. Kojo, the fact of the matter is that every Ghanaian can feel the financial crisis, which has been self-inflicted. It is the bad policies, the bad decision choices. I mean, how can you, in the midst of unprecedented losses of 60.8 billion, negative equity of 55 billion in the midst of depleted reserves, be constructing an iconic office? You say that where you are operating from is no longer plush enough. And Ken Oforiatta writes that let's support the Bank of Ghana to build a befitting office for themselves. How about building a befitting economy for all of us first? A project which starts at $88 million within 8 months shoots up, skyrockets to $121 million. And as if that's not bad enough, as we speak, is $227 million. If you add the land, which is another scandal on its own, litigants are in court and all of that, and the potential compensation that has to be paid, we are talking about a $300 million project. Started at $88 million, now hovering around $300 million. Who does that? When you are in crisis, you've made unprecedented losses. It's now that you decide to put up an iconic office that should park 3,200 cars, that should have over 7,000 offices. I mean, who does that? See what happened in Australia. They decided to pull out of hosting the Commonwealth Games because of the state of the economy, that they would rather invest that money in creating jobs for their young people, in investing in education, investing in health. So they pulled out. They said they were no longer going to spend money hosting an 11-day Commonwealth Games. That is what sensible, sensitive leaders do in times of difficulty. Take the United States of America, a more wealthy nation. They decided when COVID struck to defer plans to buy new presidential jets, new Air Force One. They deferred the order down the lane for 5 years so that they can focus on urgent matters, address the difficulties. That is the United States of America. Their leaders didn't think that during financial difficulties, they should be seen purchasing new presidential jets for themselves, for their comfort. I mean, that is responsible leadership. Couldn't that Bank of Ghana office wait? Can they take a decision to drop that project for now and try to resuscitate, revive this economy so that all these financial haircuts, people who are sitting at home, people who can have access to their life savings, we address those challenges first? What do they take us for? No priorities. I mean, no respect for the people. And that is what they continue to show in even refusing to show up to receive facilities.
Let me ask this. The point of the whole demonstration was to have the governor resign, the governor and his deputies resign. Would that solve the inherent problems that have led us to where we are, all the issues you've catalogued? If the governor resigns, will those problems be solved by his resignation?
Definitely, to a large extent. If a new governor takes office, we don't expect that new governor to continue on this reckless path. A new governor would not continue with this Bank of Ghana project, which is now around $300 million, in a time of crisis. No responsible leader will do that. So a new governor will address that matter. A new governor will now decide to follow the law and will not print money illegally to the tune of 77 billion. I mean, just think about it, Kojo. Reflect on that. You print illegally to the tune of 77 billion and still manage to make losses of 60.8 billion. So where did the money go? All the illegal printing, where did that money go? What was it used for? So a new governor, new deputies will be law-abiding, and they will not embark on this total recklessness. So it is an important first step. And once you have new governors who fix their priorities, who become law-abiding, you will begin to see that there will now be liquidity for other things, for more priorities. We will begin to, as it were, restock depleted reserves. There will be money. Look, as we speak, talk to road contractors. They are owed 15 billion. They haven't been paid in a long time. Talk to school feeding caterers. talk to food suppliers in our secondary schools, talk to the district assembly common fund administrator, talk to get fund administrator. Virtually everybody is old. Businesses are folding up. They are relocating. I mean, the unemployment is at an all-time high. Thanks to this governor's misconduct and illegalities, the World Bank says that about 850,000 people have slipped into the poverty zone. So we are talking about livelihoods, businesses that are being destroyed by the decisions, the policy choices, and the illegal conduct of this governor and his deputies. And a new team will offer some hope. At least a new team will bring us on a new path that will begin to restore the hope and the distraction that these Addison and his colleagues have caused.
All right. I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa for spending time with us. He's the Honourable Member of Parliament for North Tongu and Ranking Member for the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament. We appreciate your time, Mr. Okudzeto Ablakwa.
Always welcome, Coach.